Have you ever felt something unseen was pulling your emotions like puppet strings, like your anger, your sorrow, despair, that they weren't entirely your own? You're not imagining things, you're not crazy, because there are forces, dark, insidious forces that feed off of your pain, that twist your emotions, distort your thoughts, and whisper lies into the deepest corners of your soul. But you are not powerless, and once you learn to recognize the tactics of demonic emotional manipulation, you will never be controlled again. I'm about to share with you 30 sacred principles, 30 truths that I've developed as my work as a psychic medium that will break their hold on you. So listen closely, take notes if you need to, because once you know this, you can never go back. You will never be manipulated again. You already know what I'm talking about. You felt it. That sudden wave of despair that crashes over you for no reason. The rage that makes you say things you do not mean. Hurt the people you love when you really don't want to. The self-doubt that creeps in at night, whispering that you'll never be good enough. That's not just you. That's something else, something feeding. And the more you let it in, the stronger it gets. But once you see the game, you can't be played anymore. These 30 principles will break their grip on your soul. Let's begin. Have self-generated principles and values that you endeavor to adhere to. Use them as your moral compass. Write them out. It may also be helpful to know them verbatim, to learn them off by heart, their words. Remain calm. Don't let your emotions be prodded in a way that makes you lose the ability to think rationally and clearly. Remain optimistic and try to see the bigger picture. Always look for the wider context and expand narrow beliefs into a wider, more flexible context. Be very careful who you trust. Know and accept that not everybody deserves your trust. Do not blindly follow orders. You are not a slave. Question what deserves to be questioned. Notice where your attention is focused throughout the day. If you find yourself emotionally or physically restricted, make allies. Build the bridges that will lead to your escape. It's very true for people who are in abusive relationships or victims of domestic abuse or child abuse, of course. And you can feel very isolated, very neglected. But there are always glimmers of hope, bridges that you can begin to build brick by brick if necessary. Do not learn anything from people you do not trust. Listen to your intuition. The rights of individuals are more important than the rights of groups. Be the black sheep if you must, and I have been that black sheep in my own life. Go against the grain and retain your free mind and self-respect. If nobody is offering you the opportunity to retain your dignity, make sure that you retain your own dignity. Have a clear purpose so somebody else's purpose isn't inserted into your mind. Very true of cults. Be self-reliant and embrace integrity. It will make you immune to brainwashing. Constantly trying to please people so you can simply fit in can be a dangerous strategy for your life because it makes you dependent, because you outsource your happiness, your validation to somebody else, which decreases your self-reliance and makes you completely and totally dependent on them for your own happiness, sanity, etc., etc. Refuse to conform to any social trend that is nonsensical, dangerous, or idiotic. Remember, you are never alone. If you feel alone, it just means you're in the silent majority. You will find each other eventually. You will discover the other people who resonate with your soul. Be wary of somebody who is only telling you what you want to hear. Flattery is nice, but sometimes it is used as a gateway to control and manipulate you for somebody else's purposes. Do not rush big decisions. Be patient in waiting for information. Learn to tolerate that feeling of uncertainty when you feel it in your belly, your stomach. You need to do something. You need to act because you cannot stand to wait. Sometimes that is the most important time to press pause, to consider things, to sleep on it, to really analyze and evaluate your options. Never become involved in any movement or issue that you cannot 100% justify to yourself. Another good bit of advice for this is, if you can't explain it to a child, then you probably don't understand it fully yourself. Beware of strangers who pretend to be your best friend. What you're actually looking for is small and steady connection that grows with time, rather than sudden and huge gestures of friendship. What do these people really want? Beware of any system or gadget that wants to monitor your facial reactions. So you may be aware of some apps on Facebook, for example, that are made in China or the US or Russia, and they need to take a photo of your face. Why? Beware of anyone demanding perfection from you. God is perfection. We may be made in the image of God, but we are not God. We make mistakes sometimes. We are perfectly imperfect. Never willingly adjust to hell. If you are in hell, spiritual hell, physical hell, emotional hell, behavioral hell because of your own choices with substances and addiction, at least recognize that you're in hell and make a commitment to yourself that you'll leave as soon as humanly possible. Never feel gratitude towards someone that has harmed you or has taken away your freedom. Yes, your abusive partner may be nice sometimes when his mood or her mood suits them to be nice, or they want or need something from you. This can never make their abusive behavior acceptable. Control your anger when faced by an adversary. Never, ever, ever let them use your own emotions against you. This one is obviously very easy to say and maybe more difficult to do, but it's a worthwhile goal. Adults are not babies. Look after yourself before parenting somebody else. This is very true for some of my clients and some of my own personal experiences where you have a narcissistic mother or father perhaps, or a boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife who is very infantile and maybe abusive again. Adults, they are not babies. Treat them like an adult, even if they want to be infantilized. Just because something is new doesn't mean it's good. Never abdicate your responsibility to think to another human. I've worked with clients, people, human souls, who, through their anxiety, have just kind of handed over all of their responsibility, their capability to think to another human, whether that's a boyfriend or girlfriend, basically a partner. And even though this helps them with their anxiety initially, in the long term, it's very bad for them because they're completely dependent and their partner may begin to exploit that or take advantage of that if they're not a particularly good person with a great heart. Don't mistake your healthy need for genuine, deep connection with unhealthy, compulsive conversation or gossip. Gossip will destroy you. It's probably as bad as cigarettes. Beware of others' expectations of you. You do not exist to make other people happy. If you don't know someone, then you don't know what they really think. This is definitely something to ponder, contemplate, meditate on. It's extremely powerful, much more powerful than it initially sounds or reads. Beware of the introduction of a new set of morals. This is more of a wider society, cultural, political type of truth that we need to be aware of. And finally, understand that if you're not pursuing your own dreams, you are probably a pawn, a chess piece in the realization of somebody else's dreams. Principles have been created by myself through my own life experience.
And also for the last 10 to 15 years of working with my clients, if somebody's trying to control you, please do not hesitate to get in contact with me and we can have a consultation, or send me an email. I will include the link below so you can actually read the original article I've written on my website with the 30 principles if you want to read them again as opposed to listening. If you are interested in some more detailed content, in the next few weeks, I will be recording two main videos. One is going to be how to recover and deal with an ongoing situation of a narcissistic parent, for example, a mother, or how to recover from an abusive relationship. Maybe you experienced emotional abuse, coercive control, or something more physical, perhaps. These two things are the most common things I see in many of my clients who request readings for tarot, clairvoyance, psychic mediumship. And when we get to the root of the problem, normally it's something to do with this emotional, demonic, I call it demonic manipulation. Because even if it is another human that has inflicted this on you, it's often something that they're dealing with themselves that we simply cannot understand, and perhaps we can't understand it because they don't understand it. That doesn't excuse their behavior. It never excuses their behavior. We all have a choice. Just like you have a choice now. How will you deal with this information? How will you change your life? How will you affect your thoughts, your feelings, your behavior based on this new information? Now, it's not easy, like I've said. So if you would like to talk over this further, please do not hesitate to get in contact with me. Even though I'm based in the UK, we have the internet now and we can speak no matter where you are in the world.